On the distant blue-green world of Elysium 9, humanity had carved out a small but flourishing colony, nestled among towering crystal forests and rolling amber plains. It was a place of promise and peace, protected under the wide-reaching banner of the United Earth Federation, a symbol of hope for those who dreamed of the stars. Life here was steady, filled with the quiet hum of daily routines, scientific exploration, and careful growth. Yet beneath the calm, sensors far beyond the planet's atmosphere had begun to pick up strange readings, unusual energy patterns drifting slowly through the void, heading directly toward the colony. At first, the experts back on Earth and in the Federation command centers studied the signals and came to a simple conclusion. They were nothing more than harmless cosmic disturbances, perhaps remnants of old supernovae or distant pulsars. The warning bells that might have rung were muffled by the consensus that no real threat existed, that life could continue as usual on Elysium 9 without fear. Commander Lena Hartley, a determined and sharp-minded leader, stood on the observation deck of the starbase orbiting the planet, her eyes fixed on the glowing screen displaying the slowly creeping blips on the radar. Her team worked tirelessly, pushing the limits of human technology in hopes of one day ensuring the survival of humanity far beyond Earth's cradle. At the center of their efforts was the Aegis, a gleaming prototype battleship designed to be humanity's ultimate protector, a vessel unlike any other, controlled by a pioneering artificial intelligence that could think, learn, and react faster than any human pilot. The Aegis was more than a machine. It was a promise, a symbol of human ingenuity, and the will to defend what they had built. As the final systems checks were underway, Lena oversaw every detail with a sharp eye, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. The colony below prepared for a celebration, a festival marking the completion of the Aegis's trials and the hopeful dawn of a new era. Flags fluttered, voices rose in laughter, and families gathered to share stories under the twin suns, unaware of the shadow drawing ever closer beyond the stars. Yet, hidden in the silence of space, strange shapes moved without sound, cloaked by advanced alien technology that bent light and distorted sensors. These were no ordinary travelers. They were the vanguard of an unknown alien armada, cold and precise in their approach, intent on destruction. The first hints of their presence had been brushed aside as anomalies, but Lena's instincts told her something was wrong. The calm before the storm was deceptive, thick with unseen danger. Deep within the command center, technicians worked, feverishly to recalibrate sensor arrays, hoping to catch a clearer picture of the approaching threat. Static and interference clouded their instruments as if the aliens themselves fought to remain hidden. Lena's thoughts raced. Was the Aegis ready? Could their prototype, untested in true battle, stand against whatever force loomed ahead? The answers lay just beyond the veil of space, where the alien warships gathered like shadows waiting to strike. The colony's leaders debated whether to send warnings or orders to evacuate, but none fully understood the scale of what approached. The world of Elysium 9 was still a frontier, and humanity's enemies remained mysteries. Back on the surface, families looked up at the twin moons glowing softly in the twilight, feeling safe in their homes and fields. Scientists continued their work. Children played in the streets and the festival lights sparkled in the evening air. No one noticed the subtle change in the sky's hue, nor the faint ripple in the space around them. Commander Hartley stood alone on the deck, the glow of the Aegis reflected in her determined eyes. The prototype was their shield and their hope, a beacon of human courage against the unknown. As she took a deep breath and gave the final go-ahead for the ship's activation, the first true signs of the alien fleet's approach began to pulse on the radar, growing stronger, closer. The silence that had held so long was about to shatter, and the fate of the colony and perhaps all humanity hung in the balance. The sudden burst of alien fire shattered the calm of Elysium 9's skies without any warning, cutting through the delicate peace the colony had known for years. In an instant, the usual hum of daily life was replaced by alarms blaring throughout every settlement and research facility, sending waves of panic crashing over the people below. Defensive turrets lit up the horizon, their beams trying desperately to to fend off the relentless onslaught of sleek, unfamiliar alien warships that moved with deadly precision. The colony's standard forces, though brave and well-trained, were quickly overwhelmed by the sheer power and technology of the invaders. Citizens ran for cover, seeking shelter wherever they could, while emergency crews scrambled to repair damaged infrastructure and protect vital resources. Meanwhile, high above the planet, Commander Lena Hartley was locked in a race against time. With sweat dripping from her brow and her heart pounding, she coordinated with her engineering teams to bring the Aegis online. The battleship's complex system, still fresh from testing, flickered to life under her firm commands. However, not everyone was convinced the Aegis could save them. Some senior Federation leaders questioned the wisdom of relying on a prototype, unproven in battle, worried that placing so much hope in a machine with unknown capabilities was reckless. Lena stood her ground, her voice steady and confident as she argued that the colony had no other choice. If they waited for backup, the alien fleet would leave nothing behind. The tension in the command center was thick as she pushed the final activation sequences, watching the Aegis's AI begin to stir awake. The ship's systems lit up with an eerie glow as its synthetic intelligence scanned the enemy formations, absorbing every detail at lightning speed. Unlike human pilots, the AI could analyze countless strategies simultaneously, quickly predicting the aliens' next moves. The battleship's first movements were calculated and swift, deploying defensive shields, powering up energy weapons, and launching drones designed to gather real-time data on the enemy fleet. Lena's breath caught as the Aegis fired its opening salvo, brilliant beams of blue-white energy slicing through the dark void. The alien ships responded with volleys of plasma and missile barrages, but the prototype's defenses held firm, adapting to the threat with astonishing speed. The sight was awe-inspiring, human technology standing tall against an overwhelming force. Yet, beneath the excitement, Lena knew this was only the beginning. The aliens' relentless assault revealed their determination and strength. They were not a disorganized band of raiders, but a coordinated force with a clear mission to destroy the colony. Each attack became more precise, pushing the Aegis and its crew to their limits. As the battle raged on, Lena's mind raced, constantly adjusting tactics and working alongside the AI to find weaknesses in the enemy's formation. Reports came in of distant outposts falling and civilian shelters damaged, fueling her resolve to hold the line. The Aegis's AI began to show signs of learning, changing its targeting priorities, deploying unexpected countermeasures, and predicting enemy movements with growing accuracy. Still, the cost was clear. The battle was far from won, and the odd colony's fate hung precariously in the balance. Communications with the surface were spotty, with messages of fear and hope mixing in equal measure. Lena refused to let despair take root, drawing strength from the bravery of the people she was sworn to protect. Every moment spent fighting bought time for evacuation and reinforcement, turning the tide bit by bit. The clash was more than a battle of weapons. It was a test of human spirit, innovation, and resilience. As the first waves of alien ships retreated, under the counterattack, Lena allowed herself a brief moment of hope, but she knew the enemy would return, stronger and more determined. The Aegis had shown its power, but the true war was only just beginning. With the colony watching and depending on her, Lena prepared for whatever came next, her resolve shining brighter than the stars themselves. The battle had reached a new level of intensity, as the Aegis found itself locked in a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the alien command vessel, a massive warship that led the invasion fleet with ruthless precision. Lena Hartley, from the EIR bridge of the prototype battleship, directed every move with careful focus, her fingers flying over the controls as she coordinated with scattered defenders across the colony. Thanks to the Aegis's advanced sensors, they could track the alien ship's movements even through the chaos of battle. Every scan revealed tiny weaknesses, small gaps in the enemy's shield patterns, brief pauses in their attacks that Lena and the AI worked together to exploit. Communication channels buzzed with reports from ground forces struggling to hold key positions as the alien fleet pressed their attack relentlessly. Then, in a moment that shocked everyone, the alien command ship unleashed a devastating weapon, unlike anything the colony had faced before. A massive energy pulse swept over the planet, disabling much of Elysium 9's infrastructure. Power grids failed, communications went silent, and vital systems sputtered out. Panic surged among the colonists as dark shadows crept over their homes and cities. But even as the colony's fate seemed to hang by a thread, the Aegis's AI revealed a new level of brilliance. The ship's systems rapidly adjusted, quickly, analyzing the alien weapons' effects and formulating a countermeasure no one had expected. Lena watched in awe as the battleship sacrificed some of its stealth capabilities, turning off the cloaking fields that kept it hidden from enemy sensors in order to charge a powerful strike. The risk was high. Revealing their position could mean becoming an easier target. Yet the decision paid off spectacularly. With a sudden burst of energy, the Aegis launched a concentrated attack at the heart of the alien fleet, striking the command vessel's shield generators and causing a cascade of failures. The alien warship staggered, its formation disrupted, forcing the invading fleet to pull back to regroup. The colony's defenders seized the moment, rallying their forces and pushing back against the remaining alien ships with renewed courage. Lena's voice remained steady as she coordinated repair teams and defense units, knowing well that this victory was only a pause in the conflict, not the end. The Aegis itself was damaged and vulnerable without its stealth, but the gamble had bought precious time for the colony to recover and strengthen its defenses. Throughout the tense hours that followed, Lena's mind never rested. She and the AI studied every detail of the alien tactics, preparing for the next inevitable encounter. The battle had shown humanity's resilience and creativity in the face of overwhelming odds, and it had proven that the Aegis was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of hope and defiance. Yet beneath the relief, a quiet warning lingered. The alien enemy was far from defeated, and the war for Elysium 9 was only just beginning. After the fierce battle, as the smoke slowly cleared from the skies above Elysium 9, a quiet determination settled over the colony. The once vibrant cities bore scars, craters from fallen missiles, shattered windows, and twisted metal. But the people refused to be broken. Commander Lena Hartley stood at the heart of the rebuilding effort, her presence a steady beacon of strength and hope. The colony's residents, from scientists and engineers to farmers and teachers, came together with a shared purpose: to repair what was lost and prepare for whatever might come next. The Aegis, though battered and in need of extensive repairs, became the center of this collective effort. Lena watched as technicians worked day and night, guided by the battleship's AI, which had grown sharper and more capable after its first encounter with the alien invaders. The AI's ability to learn from battle data meant the Aegis was no longer just a machine. It was evolving into something greater, ready to meet future challenges with even greater precision. Amidst the repairs and planning, scientists delved into every fragment of alien technology left behind, hoping to uncover secrets that could help them understand their enemies. Slowly, a picture began to form. This alien race was ancient, their civilization once vast and powerful, but now desperate and fearful. The humans realized the conflict was not simply a battle for territory, but a clash of survival. The aliens saw humanity's rapid expansion across the stars as a threat to their existence, a fear that drove their brutal assault. Yet, even with this understanding, the colony refused to yield to fear. Instead, they embraced their humanity, their creativity, courage, and unbreakable spirit that had carried them through centuries of hardship. Leaders organized training programs to prepare civilians to defend themselves. Engineers innovated, new technologies inspired by alien designs, turning the enemy's strengths into tools for survival. Children who had once only heard stories of distant wars now learned the importance of unity and hope. Lena's speeches echoed through the colony's communication networks, reminding everyone that their greatest power was not in weapons or machines, but in their will to endure and protect what they loved. The people of Elysium 9 rebuilt homes and farms, restored communication lines, and fortified defenses with a new sense of purpose. Stories of bravery during the battle became legends, inspiring songs and artwork that celebrated the human spirit. Even as they healed, the colonists kept a watchful eye on the stars, aware that the alien threat had not disappeared but merely retreated for now. The Aegis, once just a prototype, was becoming a symbol not only of defense, but of humanity's hope and resilience. A promise that no matter how dark the future might seem, humans would rise and fight back with ingenuity and heart. This chapter in the colony's history was a testament to the power of unity, adaptability, and hope, the qualities that made humanity truly extraordinary in a vast and often hostile universe. As Elysium 9 looked toward the future, the people understood that their greatest battles might lie ahead, but they would face them together, stronger and wiser than before. Months had passed since the harrowing battle that threatened to wipe out the colony on Elysium 9, and in that time the Aegis had not only been repaired but improved beyond its original design. Commander Lena Hartley stood once again on the bridge, gazing out at the endless stars with a mixture of resolve and hope. The mission before them was unlike any they had faced before. No longer simply defending their home, the Aegis was now tasked with venturing into the unknown depths of space to find the alien homeworld. This was not a call to arms, but an attempt at something far more difficult and dangerous: peaceful contact. Lena had gathered the best minds from the colony, scientists, diplomats, engineers, and strategists, each chosen not just for their skills, but for their belief in humanity's potential to be more than just fighters. As the ship powered up for launch, a quiet excitement mixed with tension filled the crew. They knew the risks: entering unknown space where enemies might lurk, facing dangers that no training could fully prepare them for. Yet, the spirit of exploration burned bright in their hearts. The Aegis moved smoothly through the vast emptiness, its AI constantly scanning for signs of life or activity, learning and adapting as it had before. The crew worked together, sharing knowledge and hopes, ready to prove that humanity was capable of both strength and compassion. Along the way, they uncovered faint signals and clues that pointed toward the alien race's origins, a civilization that had once been proud and advanced, but was now fearful and isolated. Lena often thought about how close they were to rewriting the story between these two species, from enemies locked in battle to possible partners seeking peace. Each day brought new challenges: mysterious nebulae, unstable wormholes, and strange phenomena that tested the limits of their technology and teamwork. But every obstacle strengthened their resolve, teaching them patience and trust. Throughout the journey, Lena remained vigilant, always aware that even the best intentions could be met with suspicion or hostility. Yet she also believed in the power of dialogue, understanding, and the hope that lay beyond fear. The crew shared stories and dreams beneath the artificial stars of the ship's observation deck, building connections that made the Aegis feel more like a home than a war machine. As they approached the coordinates believed to be near the alien homeworld, tension mounted. Sensors picked up signs of activity, but nothing yet hostile. The moment was both thrilling and terrifying, a first step into a larger universe where the future of two species might be decided. Lena prepared her team for the delicate task ahead, to reach out with open hands, to show that humanity could be fierce defenders, but also compassionate explorers seeking friendship. The final scene, as the Aegis sailed closer to the unknown planet, was filled with silent promise. The stars stretched endlessly beyond, full of mysteries waiting to be solved and dangers to face. Humanity stood ready, not just to fight for survival, but to build bridges where possible, to learn and grow among the stars. In this new chapter, the courage to face the unknown with hope and respect became humanity's greatest strength, a light shining boldly beyond the horizon.